Good day, everybody, and welcome to Martial Africa. Today, we're going to take a look at an indigenous martial art from South Africa.
They came from across South Africa and neighboring countries to welcome a new king. Zulu warriors in their thousands to witness the first coronation of a Zulu king in more than 50 years.
But for now, we are not going to talk about the new king or the royal family. We are here to talk about a martial art called Induku. Now, the word Induku in Zulu actually means stick, but the word Induku also can mean stick fighting. Now, the Zulu nation is most probably the most well-known people group of South Africa, and I can make a whole video on just their culture, and maybe in the future I will. But for now, please keep in mind that this is a living culture, not just a reenactment of the past. The Zulu nation is a very proud nation and is often referred to as the warrior people. They have a very interesting history, and actually my people and the Zulu people share a history. So what on earth is Induku? Well, it's stick fighting, usually paired up with a shield or a shield stick. There are of course different variations, and oftentimes there are official competitions with center judges and medics, but most of the time it takes place out in KwaZulu-Natal in the rural area. And there are no headgear, there's nothing else, no center rev really. It's about two warriors facing off, doing a little bit of light sparring. So I'm definitely not going to pretend like I understand the deep cultural significance of all of this. I've been told by friends of mine that for young men, proving themselves in a stick fighting match is a way to prove your manliness. I've been told that at funerals, stick fighting plays a very big role spiritually. I don't understand all of this. I wasn't raised in the Zulu culture, and I will admit my Zulu is not the best. But I want to learn. I want to learn about the martial art itself. So I did what all good martial artists should do. Got a couple of people together, got some sticks, and I sparred. We started slow at first, feeling it out, figuring out the footwork, and the best way to hold your weapons. I very quickly realized that there is not a single way that is foolproof. Most of the fighting, like with any fighting, is really about reading your opponent, seeing where he opens himself, see where his shield stick is. The more and more people I fought, the better I felt I understood what was going on. I never felt like I got good at stick fighting, but eventually I started seeing the tricks. One thing that I noticed is that you should always try to stand behind your shield. Now this does sound logical, but in fact it's harder than you think, especially in the heat of combat. Another thing that I realized is that your shield is a weapon. Use that stick. Another strategy that I realized is to keep your fighting arm, or the arm that you have your fighting stick in, cocked all the way back. Yes, it takes a longer time for the stick to make contact, but once your arm is cocked all the way back and your opponent can essentially only see your elbow, it's almost impossible to see where that stick's coming from, and that changes the game. And not only do you have the element of surprise, but you have a little bit more space to pick up momentum, to really deliver a hard whack. Throughout all my fights, I felt quite clumsy. I'll be honest, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they still go full speed, full force, and use technique. Well, I guess it's quite obvious by now that we don't go quite as hard as the other guys do. I will admit that this is very hard to do, because as soon as you start going full contact, you have to start expecting full contact blows. And I think that's something that you have to build up to. So again, respect to the warriors. Don't know how they do it, don't know where they get the guts for it, but damn, you need a lot of guts for this.